Anthropic launched Claude Cowork, and in this video I'm going to show you how to set it up to run an entire YouTube channel for your agency or a different service-based business. Research, scripting, organization, everything you need to get started. But first, what is Claude Cowork for YouTube channel? It's basically a stack of skills and connectors that put Claude inside the tools that agency owners are using to scale their YouTube channels. It's here to help them scale past 20K to 50 to 100K a month. Is the first step into your growth that every operator past 1 million a month did at some point, without spending the next 6 months trying to stitch it all together. And by the way, this is the exact stack that we're using for our done for you YouTube clients, where we implement everything manually for them. But this workspace will help you to automate a lot of that stuff and get you started. So let's get into it. Everything you just saw runs a single Claude Cowork workspace built specifically for YouTube agency content, and it's built out of 3 components. And those 3 components, you can see them on the screen right now. It's Claude.md file, Profile.md file, and the skill files. So what are all of those files? Let's go through them real quick. So this file is basically a system prompt for your Claude workspace. Basically, anytime when you open this workspace in Claude Cowork, Claude will read this file and understand all the context behind what this workspace is for in the first place. So a couple of things you want to include here. Obviously, it's full of placeholders, so I'll show you exactly how to personalize it for your own workspace. When you download this file, it will be just placeholders. So let's go quickly through what's included in these files so you understand what these are for in the first place. And then I'll show you how you can personalize them for your own workspace. So who is this for? Basically, you want to explain who you are here, what you do, and what's the ultimate goal that you help your clients with. Then we have the workspace setup, so connected MCPs. MCPs are basically connectors to different services like Notion, YouTube transcripts, everything you need to get from outside of Claude, you get it here from the MCPs. Then installed skills. I'll walk you through each skill one by one in the next parts of this video, so stay tuned. Basically, we have 4 main skills. We can expand it a little bit more, but for the purpose of this video, it'll be way than enough for this video. So first skill is YouTube competitor research. We'll research your competitor and find the best videos that your competitor posted, so you can basically copy and paste it. Second skill is generate YouTube script template from transcripts. So we'll take a transcript from any competitor that you found, and we'll basically turn it into a script template that you can reuse in the future. Then YouTube script writer, this will help you to write a script that's decent enough to film right away. And for that, we'll need obviously some templates that we generated before with template generator. And we have also YouTube title generator that will give you some title variants for your YouTube video. The next up, we have content types. So this basically explains what type of content you'll be creating in this workspace. What you see here is just YouTube scripts, but honestly, you can expand it to Instagram or LinkedIn posts, depending on what kind of content you're creating. We're focusing in this video on YouTube, so this is just it. Then content validation rule and key principles to always apply. So this is based on your profile.md file, which I'll show you now. So that was Claude.md. Now we have Profile.md file. What Profile.md file is, basically it's a one document that explains exactly step by step what your offer is, who you are, who you're helping, your ICP, deliverables in your offer. So let's go through that one by one. Obviously the offer, you have the placeholders here, so you can just fill it up with your offer, what that is, what it includes, what makes you different. So just one line that helps with your positioning, describes exactly how you're different from others, how you compare to alternatives. Then your target ICP profile, so explaining exactly who you're making these videos for. That's very important. Do not overlook this one, because this will be the goldmine for your content. Then ICP pain points, target outcome metrics from your offer, then content strategy. We want to have some pillars and some more context into how content should be built. So script structure, hook, body, CTAs, and you can also include some tools and systems that you are using consistently that your ICP is using as well. So if they use certain tools, you can make content about it. And then we have obviously all of these 3 skill files. I'm not going to show you exactly the content of them. You can just download it and use it in your own workspace. All right, so when you have this folder, you downloaded it from the second link in the description. All you have to do now is go to Claude Cowork. So let me do this now and show you how you can create this workspace for yourself. As you can see here, I'm in a brand new Cowork session. There's nothing in here. How you need to install it is pretty simple. You click on work in a project, then create new project. And from all of these 3 options, you select use an existing folder. So this will open the Finder. So I selected the folder. Now we can give it a name. I'll name it Content Workspace. And in the instructions, you can leave it blank since we have Claude.md. And you just need to click Create. That's all. And when you create the Content Workspace, you'll see this window here, context, and it basically shows you all the files that we have in this workspace. So what we have to do now is basically tell Claude to fill these files with your actual content, your actual positioning. So we need to personalize these files for yourself. Right? So for the purpose of this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of my clients as a reference for you guys. So this is Tim. He runs a cold email lead generation agency, and he also has his community where he teaches people how to do it for themselves. And what we're going to do is basically now use Tim as an example of how to personalize your workspace in Claude Cowork for yourself. Now I'll just ask Claude to ask me clarification questions so it can personalize Claude.md files and Profile.md files based on my knowledge. Hey Claude, so can you help me personalize the workspace files, namely Claude.md and Profile.md files? These files in the workspace have placeholders, and all I want you to do is ask me some questions to be able to understand exactly what I do and personalize these files and add them to our workspace. Now let's wait a little bit for the questions to be asked by Claude. It needs to understand the full context, so it'll take maybe a minute or 2. And once Claude has your questions, it will ask you them here in this window. As you can see, there are 3 questions. For the purpose of this video, I'm gonna actually paste my existing files. So feel free to say in great detail here what you actually are selling, or what you can do is just paste some text from your existing assets that you've created in the past. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. All right, so I'm gonna paste just the text here and reply here, click Q. Okay, and after like 2 minutes, literally, Claude did all the work for us. It created the Profile.md file where you can see the full context of who is Tim. And then Claude.md is basically a workspace setup, the system prompt, so that everything we create inside this workspace, it will have all this context. It will know exactly what kind of tools to use and what's the end goal of using this workspace. So now as we have this, one last thing I want to make sure is that we have the skill files installed. So going back to this folder, you can see now that we have Profile.md and Claude.md files, and we gotta make sure that the skill files are installed. So what I'm gonna do is just ask Claude to help me install these skill files. So as you can see, I had those 2 files installed, obviously, because I've been using them before. And then there's this one that's not yet installed. So it will create the skill here. And if we click on save skill, it's being saved to our workspace in our Claude settings. So now everything should be installed. Now, real quick before we move on in this video, if you want to download the full workspace folder, just use the second link in the description. And once you download it, you'll be ready to basically start implementing this in your Claude Cowork workspace. All right, so when you're fully ready and your workspace is prepared, everything is installed, then you probably want to know how to actually use this full workspace. What's the full flow on creating YouTube videos? So let's do this. Let's go back to Cowork. Let's go to projects, and here you'll see the content workspace. And here now I'll ask Claude to use our fill skill file to find ideas for our channel based on some competitors that we know exist, right? So this is going to be pretty simple. All we have to do is click slash, then use YouTube competitor research, click enter, and now I'll ask Claude to find me YouTube video ideas based on competitors, what they've done, and sort of replicating what worked for them. So this is going to be a fun one. Let's just give a proper prompt now. All right, so use this skill to find me ideas for my YouTube channel. I'll give you 3 YouTube channels of my competitors who create content on YouTube, and your job will be to find me 5 best ideas that I should film my content about next. And now, as this is working, let's look for some competitors. I'm sure you know some of your competitors, but if you don't know, I'll just show you.
Put it all to the test throughout this video.
So let's go to his video, and then we can look on some channels or some videos recommended here. So Eric, this could be one of our first competitors to research. And we're gonna go to another competitor, Matt Lucero, and maybe Lead Gen J. That's another one that you might know or not. Doesn't matter. So basically, once we have these 3 YouTube channels, I'm just going to copy these links and paste them directly in the chat. And as you can see already, the progress, Claude read the Profile.md file for ICP context, then it looked through these channels, and then it starts pulling transcripts for top performing videos. It's going to do some work in the background, and I'm going to show you what came out from it. Okay, so here we have one problem, and Chrome is not opening for us. So what you can do is make sure you have this connector connected. It's called Claude in Chrome. And then what you have to do is make sure that you have Chrome open and you're signed in, and add this Claude extension. If you don't have it installed yet, then just type in Claude and add it to Chrome, basically. So once that's installed, now I can ask to, now as this is installed, now Claude is open, it will check your browser, and you can allow all browser actions, so it will actually navigate the pages itself. All right, so as you can see, Claude gave us 5 video ideas, or actually these are still videos that these competitors posted, but we can replicate them now, and Claude will now analyze them based on Claude.md file. It will give us the analysis and propose the video ideas that we should create. Here we have it, how I use Claude Code to run 4 lead gen workflows inside my agency. All these 5 video ideas, they are based on the content that worked for his competitors. So now what Claude does is creates pages inside Notion workspace that we've built so that we can stay organized and keep everything in one place. So when you have the Notion connector connected, basically, it will create this YouTube content pipeline for you, or you just have to duplicate it for yourself and then tell Claude to use this as your content pipeline. And now it's asking me to create all of these pages, so I will allow it. Here you go. So it created this page for us. Now, before we move on, I want you to remember that this workspace is just the foundation to get started on YouTube. This will not guarantee you lots of calls or lots of views on your videos, because the full process cannot be really automated. It takes real people, real creativity, real YouTube algorithm knowledge, and learning it all together takes time, and it cannot be automated. So if you really want to take YouTube seriously and you want to get qualified calls every month from your YouTube channel, then feel free to use the first link in the description to book a call with me to see if we can help you in the first place. Now, without further ado, let's get going with this video. Now, what we are going to do, the next part of this video, is we're going to take the transcript of this video to create a template for our scripts. So now ask /generate YouTube script template from transcript. Okay, so it took the transcript of this full video, and now it creates a template that we can reuse for our scripts. All right, so it gave us the template from this script. So basically, just for your context to understand why we do this, we want to create a file which is a script template where we have some relevant context, some placeholders, so that whenever you paste this to a new chat and give some more context on a new video, it will create a nice script following exactly the script template that worked for, in this case, Eric. So now I'll ask Claude to create a script reference in references folder inside the skill for YouTube script writing. Okay, so when we have the template created, it's in our skill file as the reference for the skills. Now we can create finally the script. So this will be the last part of this video, probably the most important. So I'll just give the video title and script template, and I'll ask Claude to use script writer. That should be enough because it will read the skill instructions, it will take the video title, and it will choose the script template. So let's see what it creates for us. And just for some reason, if the script template is not loading for you, then you can just copy and paste the script template that you were given in Claude in a recent session, and then it will start writing the file. But one thing that's very important to mention is that everything I'm showing you today is just the foundation for starting a YouTube channel. This does not guarantee you that you'll start booking calls from your YouTube channel for your agency or get lots of views. This is just the basic stuff that will help you automate the boring work and help you just start. But if you really want to take YouTube seriously, this is the system that we run for our clients at our YouTube Growth Studio. And if your order acquisition channels are already producing good results, but you want to start a new organic channel or just improve the way your YouTube channel works, get you more calls booked and more views, in general, you want to grow your channel, then feel free to book a free call with me. I'll look exactly at what you do right now, what your goals are in terms of growing your YouTube channel, and then we can both decide if this makes sense or not working together. We're only accepting 5 people at a time, so just to ensure that everything we deliver is top-notch quality. So if you're interested in taking this YouTube serious, then feel free to book a call with me. Now let's get back to the script. So we got the script, and what we can do now is add this to Notion page where our content tracker is. All right, so it asks me for approval, so I'll allow it, and then it should appear here in our Notion page. As you can see, it's all here, and obviously this is just the draft version of this video. What you have to do now is just go through the full script and update it so it matches more what you want to say. But basically it will take you maybe 10 more minutes to go through the script, and you're ready to film basically. It's a full script that you can use. All right, so you have the workspace, and here's what the next 12 months of using this workspace, trying to stitch it all together on YouTube, will look like for you. You have to find videos that don't just go viral. You need the videos that actually convert viewers to leads and leads to clients. And that's the research part that a lot of people are missing out on. They just create video ideas based on their guesses, based on their own ideas, which is not really how it works. You need some research, data to know exactly what videos will print for you or not. Then you can use Claude, Cowork, Workspace for script writing and doing all of that work, but it still requires you to actually do it. And even if you have the perfect video idea, you still have to edit this video. You still need to package the video, and packaging is the part that a lot of the people are overlooking, because packaging is basically the 80% of your YouTube video. It decides whether people are going to click on it or not. So if you're overlooking this part completely, you're basically wasting time on your YouTube channel because it's not optimized for targeting the people for your offer. So if you want actually someone who can do all that work for you, who understands YouTube algorithm, knows how to get clients through YouTube, then use the first link in the description, because that's exactly what we're doing. We do the full done for you YouTube for business owners selling B2B high ticket service offers. So if you're between 20 to 100K a month and you want YouTube to start producing that good results for you, but you don't want to spend all that time figuring out YouTube yourself, and use the first link in the description again. And if you're not yet in that range, then feel free to watch some of the other videos on my channel where you can learn a lot more about YouTube, about different operators who are generating lots of leads through YouTube, lots of business through YouTube. So go check that video that you see on the screen right now, and I'll see you over there.